Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library.
Titus the Fox. Uh-oh, it's one of these. It's time for us to dive headfirst into the wonderful world of mascot platformers. The success of Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Genesis blew the starting whistle for every company in the world to try to create their own cute character they could hang their hat on and make bank with. Gex, Rocky Rodent, Bubsy, Arrow the Acrobat, Wild Woody, Awesome Possum, Booger Man, Cool Spot, Ristar, they were all coming out of the woodwork, and one by one Mario and Sonic obliterated them. A few did gain some success, such as Rayman, Spyro, and Crash Bandicoot, but for the most part, it's amazing to look back at how many of these characters completely crashed and burned. Well, except for Bonk. Everyone loves Bonk. Titus the Fox was one of those many characters, and he was the mascot of, unsurprisingly, Titus Interactive. Titus, a developer known for a lot of low-level games and at least one lowest possible level game, had been using the Fox logo since 1985, but in 1993, they decided to jump on the bandwagon and turn it into a real boy. Taking one of their old games, The Adventures of Mokhtar, they reskinned it and turned it into Titus the Fox, and released it for a variety of consoles, including the Game Boy. And how did Titus the Fox do? Well, given that this was his only appearance in a video game, I'm guessing not well. Which makes sense. He only has one tail, when at the time the real benchmark of video game foxes had two. And now we all have to deal with this box art. There's a lot going on. The shot has kind of a fisheye lens thing going, there's at least two foxes, one of whom is far more clothed, and this building is definitely about to fall over. Maybe it's best Titus never came back. So, why did this mascot fail like all the others? Let's dig our noses into Titus the Fox. Titus the Fox, licensed by Nintendo, and... Oh god! That was a fox jump scare. There he is along... Whoa, god, you're going so quickly. Titus the Fox to Marrakesh and back. But Marrakesh? Marrakesh is the 4th largest city in Morocco. Why are we going there? Whatever, let's do it. I am an easy boy. Whoa. Oh god, I have so many things to say about this image. The telltale line! I've talked about this before. When you have this outline around a character, it's usually a bad sign. I will say this, though. Oh. There we go. So far, just first screen, controls are surprisingly tight. Oh, I can go up. I wonder what the goal is. We're just gonna go all the way up, huh? Woohoo! No fall damage. That's something. Okay. I'm gonna take this box with me. Hi. Oh, you're a bad guy. I thought you were an NPC. Get out of here. So, what's the goal? Oh, he's immune to ball. Oh, I see. Okay, hang on. Get out of the way. Grab it. Go. Ow. Oh, it's weird to have to pause and unpause to see how much health you have. There's very little indicating what you're supposed to be doing right now. So, I'm just gonna... Huh? What? I feel like I got something and then the game ruined it immediately. I can't help but feel I've broken something. Okay, let's go over, I guess. What is happening? What? Where's the manual? It says you're just supposed to go to the right. So far, the game is just kind of boring. Okay, let's see. Okay. So that was, in fact, a mistake. Oh, that could hit me. There's an enemy down there. So, if you walk off that... Oh, my God. Hang on. I actually discovered something else I want to test. Hard mode, apparently, makes the game faster. Ooh. It's a pretty smooth animation, though, given how fast it is. Whoa. Oh, this is actually better. You know what this feels like? Okay, yeah, that's it. It feels like a platformer designed by a robot. Like, you feed all the info into a robot, it says, okay, platformers should have platforms and walking. And there should be some enemies you have to avoid. Got it. But, like, it's all done so standard, and there's nothing in it that's making it, like, me want to keep playing, if that makes sense. Like, look at that! Oh, bonus stage! Let's see what this is like. Boring! Don't even have different music. That's, like, #1 on the list of things you should have for a bonus room is different music. Also, looking it up, they released this game. Oh, what? Okay. Okay. They released this game for Game Boy. Then they re-released it years later for the Game Boy Color. So we are looking specifically at the original version. Like, I don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. There's no story, there's no anything. It's just sort of, okay, this is a platformer, so you should walk to the right until you can't anymore. And it's certainly not awful, but it's just... it just sort of exists, you know? I don't know, I'm not feeling this game. I'm not feeling anything about it. Okay, so like here, right here, exactly what I mean. So, with a platformer, you want to give people a chance to, you know, avoid obstacles. But here, this game, designed apparently by a robot, it's like, oh, you need spikes in a platformer. We'll put them there. It's just, it all feels like nothing. Not the worst game I've ever played by a wide margin, but nothing I'd actually go back to. Yeah, again, like right there, more spikes just thrown in there because it is a platformer. It really does feel like it was designed by a robot. The first ever AI-generated game. And the problem with hard mode is that, yes, things are going faster, but the enemies are faster too, so it's just harder to react. Whereas slow mode is just boring. We have unlocked the ability to crawl. Oh, come on, game! That's mean. Oh, good! Yeah, I'm just not, yeah, maybe Titus should have stuck with Superman 64. Like, that game's awful, but at least it was memorable. AI has come for gaming, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Platformers on the Game Boy were a dime a dozen back in the day. Some were really great, some of them were really awful, but for the most part, they all could at least stand out in some way, all having something that your brain could grab onto. But Titus the Fox was like a smooth sphere covered in grease. I had no hope of grabbing onto anything. The graphics were fine, the music was fine, the gameplay was totally fine. Everything about it was perfectly acceptable. Nothing absolutely awful, but nothing fantastic either, to the point where I struggle to even remember things about the game as I write this, barely a day after playing it. And that's why I think the best way to describe this game is what I said while playing it. It feels like a game that was auto-generated by a robot. It's like they fed all the basic information on what a platformer game should be into an algorithm, and this is what was churned out. Cutish mascots, some kind of challenge involving platforms, enemies that either throw things forward or move back and forth. The moment you reach the far right side of the level, it ends. It's amazing how it checks every box as to what a platformer should be, but doesn't elevate an inch above them. I checked ahead, and the game never evolves in the least. Every level is just rearranged platforms. It's about as simple as the original Mario, the difference being that Mario came out nearly a decade before. What I'm saying is that this game is so unremarkable that it's remarkable. However, that doesn't mean it's actually worth playing. In fact, I can't think of a single reason to actually try it out, not when there are so many better platformers out there. Let's be honest, the only Titus worth giving attention to is the one who has a whale for a father. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.